Baltimore's Penn Station sits just off-center of its downtown and upon the busiest passenger rail corridor in the United States. The Maryland Area Rail Commuter, or MARC, joins Amtrak in offering folks looking to get to Washington, D.C., or in my case, BWI Airport, a fast, simple, and relatively cheap ride solution. Baltimore's light rail link also has a station that offers service to Camden Yards or the airport, but it has unfortunately been closed in recent years. The access to that station is below the front corridor of the station if you take a right upon entry. The Penn Line is the busiest of MARC's rail services. It operates a fleet of diesel locomotive-driven trains primarily between Penn Station and Washington, D.C. Union Station. It's the local service version of Amtrak's Northeast Corridor service trains that also stop here, but fares are generally cheaper. My fare costing $6 on the Charm Pass phone app, though ticket machines are located at stations along the line as well. I had taken an Acela train first class from New York on this Monday fall morning, but that Acela was one of Amtrak's trains that didn't stop at BWI, my destination. So I changed trains at Baltimore and paid the extra fare on MARC to slow down my progress toward my flight back to the Twin Cities and get a little bit more time on the Northeast Corridor. In the past, I've taken this section of rail aboard Amtrak trains, both of the Northeast Corridor and aboard long-distance trains. But when the trip is just to BWI, I prefer the more frequent and cheaper MARC trains. The crew aboard the train is actually an Amtrak crew, and the line and maintenance for it as well as the rolling stock is handled by Amtrak, whereas MARC exists to own the stations along the line, except for Baltimore and DC, and to control fares. Select MARC trains run as far north on the corridor as Perryville, though these are not at all frequent.
Our next station stop will be West Baltimore. West Baltimore will be next. Please exit towards the center of the train for West Baltimore. For your convenience, restrooms are located in the very front of the train, the very rear of the train. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have the Charm Pass, please activate the Charm Pass now. It will not work in the tunnel. Once again, if you have the Charm Pass, please activate the Charm Pass now. Purchase your ticket and pull your ticket up. It will not work in the tunnel. Once again, the Charm Pass app will not work in the tunnel. Please pull it up now. Baltimore will be next. West Baltimore will be next. All tickets, please.
The tunnels south of Penn Station are in the process of having replacements engineered and constructed, but it's understandably going to take some time before the Baltimore and Potomac Tunnel, built in 1873, is shuttered for a more modern underpass of the city. This connection was somewhat more convenient than the light rail link to the airport, more reliably on time than the light rail, and a faster trip between stations, though depending on when you arrive in the rotation of shuttle buses, possibly about the same time overall given the need to connect from the Amtrak station at BWI to the terminal via a shuttle bus on the MARC route, whereas the light rail link delivers you directly to the terminal, more or less. There are only 2 stops between Penn Station and BWI Airport. The Spartan West Baltimore station ends up on the opposite side of our very sunny east-facing windows. But the more modern and recent Halethorpe station with its grand green awnings is in view later down the line.
always substituting MARC. Now arriving here in Louisville. BWI Marshall Airport Rail Station will be next. All doors will open, all doors will open. At BWI Marshall Airport Rail Station, there's complimentary shuttle service that runs every 10 to 15 minutes. Once again, at BWI Airport, there's complimentary shuttle service runs every 10 to 15 minutes.
MARC is generally a pleasant ride, especially in these multi-level coaches. These seats are very comfortable and their armrests add to the comfort as well. Though on the single-level coaches it does have some retro charm with the old bench seats. Luggage space is available aboard the train, with both Baltimore Penn and the airport stations having high-level platforms for easy boarding and alighting. MARC does run a few electric locomotive-driven train sets on this line, but diesels are far more frequent. A bit of an oddity these days, but the wide timetable of service that tends toward a half-hour or better train frequency in either direction keeps the service very popular among East Coast travelers and locals alike, though without the overcrowding and extra stops of a metro line.
Between the parking garages. All doors will open. All doors will open for BWI Airport Rail Station.
BWI was the first station I ever utilized on the Northeast Corridor. It has a nature trail connected to its overpass of the corridor, a great place for train spotting when the sun isn't directly in your eyes or camera lens. There's plenty of seating both enclosed on the overpass and around the platform. The station building is a recent rebuild of the original, built in 1980. A commuter parking garage and shuttle bus service to the terminal are steps away from the platform, making for one of the most concise rail-to-airport connections in the Northeast, though recent metro station additions have knocked it down to last on the list of most connected DC area stations. Now, what about taking the line from Washington, D.C. to BWI? I did just that more recently this past June on my return trip from Atlanta up to DC aboard Amtrak's Crescent. Compared to Amtrak, MARC holds, for me, the title of best airport connection in DC to BWI Airport. Though tickets for Amtrak corridor trains to BWI are often at or below that of MARC, the boarding process for MARC is much more civilized than Amtrak. You get the quieter waiting room for MARC trains versus the crowded, often quite loud boarding concourse, and the line for MARC trains stays in motion much better as it extends to the platform for boarding. Not too far off from where we caught the last Capital Limited. In our case, on this northbound Monday morning train, we're utilizing the westmost track at DC Union Station, thus allowing the procession of passengers to our northbound train to proceed without bunching up and becoming stationary in the station hall. This coach is much newer than my previous southbound trip, but the seating suffers from slightly less legroom due to its modernity, though having the trade-off of overhead luggage storage as well. I didn't try out the bathroom on this trip, having used the station restroom between riding the DC streetcar and boarding this train earlier, but I'm confident that this coach had the Amtrak soap as my November train did. I won't ruin the dream for myself there.
Route to Baltimore Station. The train the following station stops. Your current approximately 10 minutes. About Odenton, BWI, Hill, West Baltimore. Final station stop is Baltimore Station. We have 5 cars in the train. A rest located at the front and rear of the train for first time riding. Please take a look at the station instructions located about in front of you. While keep safety in mind, if you see something, please say something. At this time, we'll tickets out, charm passes over, please. You have the charm pass after the loaded. Before we come to your seat, all tickets out, please.
Another diesel train set. Our trip north to BWI finds greener outcomes in the scenery around the train rather than the operational standard of the train, also at somewhat lower speeds than most of Amtrak's trains. Though station announcements aren't handled on this train by the conductor, he used to be a gentleman of the highest order, with his instructions to one passenger needing to get reduced fare validation for future trips, as well as in his banter to the folks ahead of me flying back to Florida.
Appreciate it. All right, thank you. I got you. Did somebody rip this or?
Yeah.
All right, I know what's going on now. Yeah, but you need to register and get your count.
I know, but they want to
Let me.
That's okay. I'll figure it out at home. I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay. Let me. You're not bothering me. When I get a free chance, I can help you. But I'll write it down for you. Can't read. I'll redo it.
I used to teach school. I can read everything.
Okay, here's the link to get to. commuterdirect.com/TDM. It says ticket vending machine.
Okay.
It's directly. Yep. Problem 703-228-7433.
Okay. Well, I know that it was over in Virginia where I had to send the application. They rejected it, but it was at a 703 number.
That's what Commuter Direct's number. They didn't handle the reduced fares, senior access.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you have a valid driver's license, right, or something with your age on it? Photo?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Before you start the process, take a picture of that. It's a short profile you fill out. It's nothing personal. First name, last name, security question, and you can upload a picture to verify that you are at least 65 years old.
Okay.
You'll get an email back from the state saying, Mr. Whoever you are, you're now good to go. Use the machine. Push reduce fares, lower left hand corner. Then you enter the phone number in, you create an 4-digit PIN. Don't forget those two. You have to have those two. And then you log in and get your ticket like everybody else.
Okay.
Like she does with Handmade.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
If you don't hear back within 3 days, give that number a call.
Oh, okay. The phone number.
Yes.
Okay.
These are some.
Oh, they were wondering when the Elks
Express.
Talking about Polar
That or
Express.
the Canadian train is so nice. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
There's a train in Pennsylvania that takes you to the mountains and does that.
yeah, that's
But
fun.
they serve you real food.
Oh. Well, so we have one in Florida, but it's
Ooh. Oof.
yeah, not very really.
There, there's the freight train. Choo-choo.
Not even in operation.
That was a double diesel train.
It's a wooden train on tracks.
Freight.
That would be a cute
We've been on it 2 years. She's primary.
Did I do it the second time?
The second time. You know what? I might have been confusing myself.
Yeah, I think that sounds smart.
Aren't you gonna be like gone in 2 days? Are you gonna be gone?
We probably could have figured that out, but Jody and Papa didn't want to sit down for anything. I was thinking probably could have worked out the trip to Ohio, but Jody just wanted to meet halfway somewhere. From adding stress, so I was gonna try to work it out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired.
I said we're gonna buy tomorrow and use this at whoa. I just think here's my rationale why I don't use in case of the so number one, it's infinite.
Yep.
Number two, I like the ice water, and if I put ice cubes in
I think that is tedious. Just get a few ice cubes.
If it's like nighttime and you need more water because you get filled with water at nighttime, you just fill it up with that because it's a lot quieter than the fridge water.
Once guys, this is New Carrollton. Come on, New Carrollton. Exit towards the rear of the train with some of the crews. This is New Carrollton. Exit towards the rear of the train. Where you see the one member of the crew, not all those up.
Is that for us next week? Oh, so we're going to get on the station.
I think it's kind of weird how you pay the exact same amount of price no matter how far you go on the train. Really? It's been $8.
Now arriving at New Carrollton with connections to Amtrak, PG County Bus, and Washington Metro Rail Orange Line. Not all doors will open. Please exit the train where you see a member of the crew.
The new Carrollton station has Purple Line light rail construction going on, and the bus loading areas are looking fresh as we make our way into Maryland. Our train's only bound to make one additional stop at Odenton prior to BWI, and though the scenery is garden variety Northeast Corridor, it's smooth and running on schedule today. The efficiency of trains on this part of the corridor is a testament to the investments made in this route over centuries of operation.
Next station stop is Oakland.
It's always a treat to take a corridor train, whether it's MARC, VRE, Amtrak, SEPTA, and sometimes New Jersey Transit. Later this year, I may find myself aboard the MBTA up in Boston, and likely on Metro North's New Haven line as well. But for today, the medium-density sprawl giving way to ex-urban territories is a sublime way to close out a casually paced trip up the east coast of the United States. Definitely easier going than driving or coach bus service.
Once again, it says Odenton, all doors should open, Odenton, watch the break train, Odenton.
Station stop is BWI Marshall Airport Rail Station, with connections to Amtrak, Bay Runner Shuttle, Commuter Bus Route 201, Local Lane 75, and Courtesy Shuttle to Airport, located between parking garages. Please check the overhead luggage rack, other luggage storage areas, and seating area for your personal belongings. Do not stand on the stairs while the train is moving, and do not enter the vestibule until the train has come to a complete stop. Please watch your step, and thank you for riding MARC train service. Have a nice day. Personal belongings. Do not stand on the stairs while the train is moving, and do not enter the vestibule until the train has come to a complete stop. Please watch your step, and thank you for riding MARC.
In the coming week, I'll have a long-form video of the Crescent trip, as well as a jump back in time to last September when I flew United Express into Dulles Airport after traipsing around MSP Terminal 1 last year. The Metro Transit videos are coming too, just as soon as I can get through traffic around Minneapolis to get video of the Green Line and make my way over to the Gold Line BRT, given the scarcity of great public transit options in Minnesota from where I live. After that, I've got something planned for a jaunt over to Wisconsin that involves public transit, but probably the fourth kind you'd guess I'd be taking that involves going from the Twin Cities to Eau Claire. Like and subscribe so you can see those pointless trips. For now, it's into and over BWI after the Northeast Corridor, and MARC have done their job again, getting me to my most utilized East Coast airport. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.